Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Aries February 2024 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant. Now, this month we have a very interesting deck. It's called Spolia, I think is how you pronounce it. It's pretty rare these days. It went out of print. The artist said, we're not doing any more editions. We're going to go on and do something else. And so if you happen to come across one, grab it, because they are in very short supply. Now, of course, over the course of the last month, I've done a number of one-on-one clairvoyant readings for people from different parts of the world over FaceTime and Skype. And if you might be interested in having a clairvoyant reading with me, check out the information that's in the description below. Now, I have also done a number of healings over FaceTime and Skype for people in different countries as well. Now, unlike readings, which I charge for, healings are free. It is a spiritual duty that I must undertake, and I can get nothing in return for it. So, the healing is offered. Just contact me as set out in the description, and there's no catch, no obligation, no charge. Nothing will be recommended or sold to you. And it's great to see the subscribers again. Thank you for inviting me into your home. You know I love to see you each month, truly I do. And you know we don't have any video advertisements breaking their way into this content, and so you get to enjoy the experience direct. You also know that we only need to take 5 cards, because they don't take just 2 seconds with us, do they? They go into some quite extensive detail. So let's take 5, shall we? And show me the magic. This is the 5 of Wands. This is the 6 of Swords. Here we have the Tower. This is the Knight of Coins, and finally, for you for this month, dear Aries, is the Hierophant. Well, I'll bring the camera around, as is our usual practice. Come and sit down here next to me. You and I will have a good close look at the imagery on these cards together while they speak to us both, and I'll do the reading for you. Right, let's go down this way first, I think, and see what this has to say. You drew this first. It's the 5 of Wands. Now, from the point of view of the picture, what is going on? A lot of firestone in the background there, and hands reaching forward. Look, the astrology here is the one that's most interesting for me, because placed where it is Saturn in the first decan of Leo, that 23rd of July to the 2nd of August. Look, Saturn and Leo really don't get on. In the zodiac, of course, Leo is diametrically opposed to Aquarius. Aquarius is ruled by Saturn, and Leo is ruled by the Sun, and they are in opposition. So Saturn and Leo don't get on. And one of the reasons is, of course, that Leo wants to be creative and express itself. That's a Leo characteristic. While Saturn, although it has a lot of very good attributes associated with it, to my mind, can be seen as being cold and dense. It is, of course, the furthest of the classical planets away from the Sun. Now, Wands is a fire suit. Leo is a fire sign. And with the number 5 here, I have a mystical association with the planet of Mars as well. Now, numerologically, 5s result in instability, some exaggeration, strife, changes. And so I think there is the feeling here that there is an astrological discord, because Saturn comes in and wants to dampen down all of this fire energy. So in a sense, what is happening is that there is an eruption, I suppose, of change, maybe some conflict or competition, and some striving or struggle against something. But this energy here does bring with it the opportunity for expansion and renewal for you. Now, internally, the fiery energy of Wands sets alight a restlessness in you that doesn't want to be held back. And outside of you, this 5 creates Well, unsettlement in the different aspects of your life, it signals a challenging yet very energetic time that can be exciting, sometimes a little scary perhaps, sometimes confusing. Everything for you might seem to be shifting and moving in different directions, and the calm, comfortable place that you once enjoyed might to you be seen to be falling apart. Well, the way to understand this energy is to hold on to your spiritual center, as both the inner and outer self of you confronts this change and navigates its way through any conflicts. Holding your spiritual center, it hasn't got anything to do with your ego. Your spiritual center embodies your inner personal power, where you can find peace and balance during any chaos that's going on. Now, the real gift of this energy to you is a rebirth into a new identity. I see you've got the tower coming through here as well, so this might be something of a theme that's coming on here. There could be a new lifestyle that you're pursuing or some sort of a new path. Now, you are going to experience some change, maybe a struggle, as I say, but if you are up to the challenge, as I think you are, you're always up for a challenge, then you are going to bring about breakthroughs in your lifestyles, in your values and your ideas. This energy, in a sense, is forcing you to confront and burn away any outgrown beliefs and patterns, moving you forward into transformation and growth. And this is actually asking you to join in and test your abilities in life's games of competition with people who may be as attractive as you or who may have the same sort of a resume as you. And this powerful energy of the wands here is going to push you to new heights in career, into relationships, I think, and certainly to achievement. Now, this may not be an easy energy to manage if you are not focused on it, but when you are, you will regain your personal power and power over your own life. I will make the observation that sometimes when things like competition and struggle come up, that there could be a danger of resigning yourself. That is just giving up. Well, Saturn, who's in the card here, Saturn reminds you that all things must be taken care of step by step. Don't let yourself be overwhelmed. Always look again to the flames behind these wands, this firestone that's here. And it burns on despite any hurdles which are there. But because you have drawn this card and drawn it first, it is a sign that you are ready to face this situation, ready to do something about it, and you will overcome it. Now, what insurmountable obstacles seem to stand between you and the realization of your goals? How does the mountain of duties and tasks which stand before you look right now? Just go step by step. Take everything a little easier and say this to yourself: I am more and more capable now of expressing my feelings and my creativity in my social and work environments. Now, we had Mars in that number 5 here, and we're going to look at this Tower card now. What's the Tower got to say to us? Well, this is Mars again here, this time coming in, the fiery, aggressive Mars, the warrior planet, coming in to destroy the Tower. This is speaking to me for you of a far-reaching inner transformation. There's also a lot of healing going on for you now, and the old is destroyed to make room for the new. There's a self-knowledge here. It's almost as if there is a release. There's almost as if there is something here that you have a weight on your shoulders that is suddenly being let go. You're breaking down old forms or patterns, and this is, in a sense, the calm after the storm. Now, the natural reaction when you look at the picture of the Tower card there is to say, "Oh my Lord, what is going on?" Well, this really is throwing you into a new reality, and also perhaps into the unknown future without a lot of warning for you, you know. The Tower energy hits you hard and fast, and usually when you least expect it. But I think you do expect it now, you see, because we're talking about it. Now, the number of the Tower, ordinarily in the Major Arcana, is 16. That is the number of spiritual karmic law. It brings cleansing, rebuilding, and perfection. Now, we all get caught up in the ordinary day things of whatever feeds our ego. Sometimes out of that, our worlds become more and more materialistic, don't they? Our values and desires can get mixed up with or become false to who we really are. The foundations that we built, and those foundations being mental, material, spiritual, and emotional, well, they could just be a projected external illusion, like a film, and not really fulfilling. I think you're looking for internal fulfillment at the moment. You know, sometimes all of us, we can all get wrapped up in our own little world, and our universal vision becomes so blinded we are not even aware that there is a problem within ourselves. Well, this is when the Tower enters, and when it hits, almost anything that is not true and strong is going to crumble. And this speaks of all areas of life's experiences, such as your relationships, home, career, personal values. There are times when the Tower hits and it seems there is no answer for why something has happened. A sudden loss, or what you think at the moment is devastating. Well, these are all things that will jolt you to a different space in your heart and in your life. But I think it's very important that I remind you here that the Tower shifts energy, freeing you from any blocks, bringing a new awareness and almost breakthrough moments in your mind. You must trust that what falls on your path was put there by the Creator to learn from it. So when the lightning bolt hits your life, remember, change was meant to come your way. Stagnation, blocks, restricted attitudes and beliefs, bad relationships, bad situations or jobs, whatever it is. Well, the Tower's job is to transform the challenge into something more meaningful and true to you. The Tower reawakens your spiritual fire. It leads you back to the real you. Now, sometimes it's not an easy lesson, but just follow the light. It is bright at the end of the tunnel. And during this time, have a great compassion and be kind to yourself. You see, you are in the midst of or about to enter into an extremely intensive transformatory process. Now, whatever is destroyed or shaken within you is going to serve to purify you and make room for something new. So allow it. Are you really ready to view yourself and life with new eyes? Observe yourself in daily life. There are some situations that may seem to repeat themselves, but I don't think that you are going to continue to repeat old, limited, restrictive behavior patterns. Say this to yourself: who I think I am is a belief to be undone. I have the ability to heal myself and to restore myself at all times. I am not inside my body. My body is inside of me. And everything that happens in my life, as always, it does happen for the best. And then we come down to this Hierophant here. Now this image is, well, really I think it's an image. There seems to be a lot of Roman Catholic imagery, and with this great fish here, ancient Babylonian imagery as well, which of religious significance, which goes to show, I think, that the path to being itself, to the Creator, there is not just one path, there are a number of paths. I think what this is doing here, this energy, is during this period that you are going through, is encouraging you to trust your intuition and to see the divine in all things. You see, the divine is going to channel cosmic knowledge to you, helping you to blend and balance your inner self with your outer world understanding of how all things are connected. And you are going to be given the spiritual courage and the desire to look at your beliefs and values and see if they align with your soul purpose. Now, the divine is asking what is spiritually true to your soul and heart and what is not. Well, this Hierophant is helping you, I think, to balance your inner and outer self, helping you rebalance your life and ideals that bring about the reinvigoration, the rejuvenation of your spiritual self. Now, when you are feeling lost or off center, just quiet yourself and listen to the guidance of this energy. Now, because this Hierophant has appeared and in this position, I think it signifies that you may well be questioning your spiritual values in life. Now, this can indicate that there may be a need to seek guidance from a friend or a counselor or an advisor to help you get to get you back on track. But I think that you are also going to be called upon by others to give them counsel, to give them advice, to give them some encouragement in their own life. You could be teaching or advising others. This is a time for you to reevaluate your life, but importantly, this is bringing solutions to the big questions in your life. And it's reminding you to listen to your inner self, to find your spiritual courage and your true destined path. Yeah, I think that the search for the self could well lead you into spiritual realms. This could actually refer to a meeting with someone who is quite spiritual. Is there anyone to whom you feel attracted to in that context? Say this to yourself: I honor the sacred within me. I am inspired by learning and teaching. I am creative and productive in family and professional life. And there is only one voice listening to, the voice of my own heart. Now, I've got to say that you do triumph, as you always do, don't you? And you are stepping away from what might have been difficult situations, in that you have overcome them. You have been victorious over them. The picture here is really probably something that you're quite familiar with, I think. Look, what's interesting for me is that this is Mercury ruling the second decan of Aquarius, the 30th of January to the 9th of February. Well, Mercury is a very airy planet, and here it finds itself in the fixed sign of air, which is Aquarius. Now, it may be that Mercury is treated very well in Aquarius. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's exalted in Aquarius, but it's treated very well in Aquarius. And in fact, it highlights the intellectual, the mental qualities of this card. Mercury, which is about analysis, communication, thinking about things, and Aquarius, which is a very detached air sign, which can be quite intellectual by nature. So this is highlighting the intellectual qualities of this energy. Well, Aquarius is intellectual by nature, and Mercury's ability to analyze brings you a clear perspective going forward. So I think that the astrology here suggests to me that you should take something of a somewhat detached but balanced approach, a balanced assessment of a situation which is needed. You need to analyze something without bias and without too much emotion. Now, Aquarius is also the sign of innovation and originality. So I think this energy can also refer to you communicating ideas that are new, maybe even left field or unconventional, in a very orderly way. You will have a great ability to analyze, to bring ideas together. And there's an all-encompassing vision, an all-embracing understanding, and a great objectivity for you. Now, this energy for me, quite clearly, I think, moves you away from painful grief or conflict and negativity to a state where you have a peace of mind and you come now into new potential. Now, if life has been overwhelming, and to some extent you've got to say that there could well be some overwhelming things going on with these two here, well, if it has been overwhelming with difficulty or stress and feelings of defeat, fears of defeat really, then this energy is bringing a quiet, calm departure from those experiences and giving you a time to recover and dream of new horizons. This 6 here, which incidentally I have associated mystically with Christ consciousness, or with Vishnu consciousness, or Krishna consciousness. This is signaling the beginning of a journey to healing. Now, the way to understand this is to walk away from unhealthy situations that are sapping your personal power and stealing your self-worth. But the real gift here is the universal support guiding you to a deeper understanding of yourself and your life, and regaining spiritual strength and bringing a fresh start to you. Difficult situations now are going to be in the past because you're cutting through illusions that we spoke of before, and also already fixed, unhelpful perspectives. And you're moving into truth and looking at life from a clearer perspective. Now, whatever difficulties you have experienced, whatever effect it had on you, the conflict is now leaving. Now, you may have felt a bit beaten up, but remember that that feeling comes from outgrown perspectives and attitude that need to be shifted into a higher way of thinking. And this is bringing you now to a safe place where you can pick up all the pieces in your life. This 6 represents you getting stronger mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. It can also mean moving or a relocation is what I see here. That could be a job or a place, could be changing of a relationship. But your life is moving in a positive direction. That's the main thing. And the tides of life, they're always shifting between positive and negative. Well, your job is just to stay centered, stay balanced, while just going with the flow of evolution. You see, sometimes there is a risk of getting lost out there, but this 6 is bringing you back to your inner home. You will possess the ability to perceive on different levels and from different perspectives, and your understanding of things will unite many different aspects. Now, where are and what are the ruts in your life? Now, trust your insight. Communicate in a way that others are going to understand. You've got the benefit of Mercury here to do that, and allow the rose within you to unfold, and say this to yourself: the rose of recognition now blossoms in my heart. And then, refreshed by all of that, I think you then move on to some quite steady forward progress by the looks of things to me. And I'm just looking at this. Now, this steady progress, I think, is coming about because here is a warrior that's standing there. This looks like lava flowing, which flows slowly, doesn't it? But everything it touches, it eventually conquers. Maybe it's the John Wick, like the John Wick movies. Now, there's a lot of Aries around here this month. I think Taurus could also be interesting for you. This is a time when you are going to become energetic. You'll be a very capable manager and quite a good worker. Now, you'll be slow to anger, but look out if you have been enraged. There's a great mastery of beauty and structure here. Now, I don't mean just things like architecture, but this could extend, for example, to things like fashion or hair or makeup, beautifying things within your home or in a garden outside of it as well. Yeah, but again, design is something that's coming around here. You'll have a great energy in dealing with the material things, practical things. You'll be very unshakable, but a great degree of physical activity here. And I think you'll be able to adapt to circumstances as they have shown up here, and turn them to your advantage, which is what this has shown, with a slow, steady, well thought out plan. Now, this is a time, I think, when you are taking responsibility for your own life and you are being focused. And you'll be, actually, if you're involved in sports, you could be quite good at sport. There's a lot of effort being put into practical things at the moment. This could also extend, of course, to cooking. And I think that this is a time in your life when you are very goal-oriented and want to sort out the material side of your life. Those things to do with your health, your career, relationships, those things which are tangible to you. You'll be very trustworthy in your dealings with other people. And he is, of course, airy part of Earth, so with this Earth sign here, you come to a deep understanding, I think, of what life means to you and what you can get from it. This now, after going through this purification process that was undertaken here, this is the time to take action, because if you do, important experiences will result. Now, what activities do you enjoy? What activities would help you towards self-realization? Find a physical creative activity in which you find joy and fulfillment, and say this to yourself: I am now finding the activities that fulfill and sustain me and satisfy me. Well, I told you that the art on these cards was very interesting, didn't I? And very rare, it seems, today. And I hope you enjoyed that reading as much as I enjoyed giving it to you, which I certainly did. It's great to see you, and thank you. Now, the only favor that I'd ask, if you have made it this far, is would you do me the favor of pressing the like button on the way out? That's good for the YouTube computer, as you would understand, and allows people to come and see these readings. Now, of course, unless I see you privately, then the next time I see you will be next month. And so remember that, until then, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.